Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Summer League 2025. We have our next matchup of our winners' quarters coming up here between Walpe against Kallat, who aced their race at an earlier time. But we're going to be getting underway here just in a short moment here. We have some pretty awesome races today. Joining me is our good, lovely sir, Roro. How are we doing?
I'm very excited. I feel like I'm a part of League again. I've been kind of in and out over the last few months, so to finally plug back into this particular matchup, I'm pretty excited. Obviously, I've known Walpe probably longer than anyone else. And Kallat actually represents someone who came into our community through fresh faces. So to see him stay on par with someone as talented as Walpe, I'm very, very excited to watch this match.
Yeah, earlier today, we had a couple awesome matchups. We had Flo taking down Ignited, and then we also had D2 defeating Lord Raiden to set up their spot there in the winners semis. So,
we're going through. I blinked and half the league is done. We're already solidifying who our top 12 are. And I think with matches V through Y, we'll know who our top 8 are after that.
Yep.
It's exciting stuff.
We're going to be getting underway here just shortly. We're going to be seeing what the objectives are looking like here.
From what I know about Walpe, he loves a good Data Luxord objective. We have Datas, no Luxord. Well, we have normal Luxord, but no Data Luxord.
Yeah.
Any double ups here? So it looks like, oh my god, we have TT 1, 2, and 3 on the board. Bailey, Shanyu, double up on HT1, double up on the World That Never Was one with Roxas and Luxord, and then a bunch of and the Vexen is also technically Halloween, so that's a triple up in Halloween Town.
Yeah.
Lots of first visit objectives here, though.
Yeah, and you mentioned the nice stacking there of Twilight Town as we see Walpe finding an XP boost in 100 acres, so already
that's a huge early find. Yeah, if there's anything that I've been able to see from these league seeds, it's just that stats are so hard to come by. An early experience boost is just a complete game changer.
Absolutely. Yep, as we've probably mentioned throughout a number of the the matchups, level 20 is kind of that magic number that racers want to try to get to as quickly as they can within reason, just because that's when you get into the double stat territory, which means that anything that isn't like an item or ability type pop-up will have another stat included with that level up.
Yeah, let's also briefly talk about the unlocks before they start rapidly shifting. Oh, and speaking of rapidly shifting, we just picked up the nominee sketches in the World That Never Was. So now we have 3 objectives already available to us, both the ones in Halloween Town and I think that's Axel 1, right? That first objective?
That is Axel 1, yes.
Okay. So 3 objectives already ready to go.
Yeah, and we did get gifted with some nice magic early on with Thundara being gifted to us right off the start.
Thundara gifted, Reflect, and Once More. All of these are unhinted in these settings, so that's an insane starting toolkit for these runners.
Absolutely. And yeah, Once More, and especially finding in Halloween Town, you're going to be going there at some point with the fact that you got Prison Keeper and Oogie there for the taking. We probably imagine once we kind of get through our early portions of shotguns, we'll probably start seeing some hard pushes, especially from Walpe, considering he has that Reflect from SP.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, our unlocks are not. We don't really have a whole lot of options for unlocks. You're not really going to be pushing SP right away. I mean, that gives us another option there.
Well, you have Scimitar and Beast Claw coming up, so the game said, take this.
Yep. Said here, have some extra unlocks just to kind of give you a few extra options in case you didn't like what you saw.
They did a great Hainer impression. How's this?
Yeah.
Yeah, high tools, high options early is kind of, I don't know what more you can really ask for. I remember the days when you had all first visits available to you in a league seed, and at least early on, it's starting to look like we might go down that path here if all of these unlocks are just in early shotguns.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which will definitely be nice because we've seen a number of times. Wallpe I think was hoping to auto limit there. Or is just here for some. Oh, I don't think
No, he's using EXP boost here. Or he tried to get some additional EXP that way.
We saw Kallat end up picking up a nifty little glide.
The floor for Prison Keeper is 16. They're just shy of it right now, so I know they're probably going to finish their shotguns before coming back, but I don't know how much more content they're really going to do before starting to push objectives. It's required content. It's one of my favorite things about these settings, that you have to kind of trade off whether you do something that might not be required but may have useful tools versus potentially doing a fight under optimal in suboptimal conditions.
Yeah, like right now we got Wallpe dipping into BC. No objectives tied there other than the Data Zoltan, which is at the latest possible situation. So
that would be an ambitious objective to shoot for right now.
Yeah. And given that we only have the one Beast Claw, definitely can't get there quite yet.
Yeah. Sorry for those who have long positions on Data Zoltan. I don't forecast that that's going to be a sought-after objective.
Yeah, unless we kind of get into a position where it kind of comes down to going for that, then yeah. But yeah, Data Zoltan in this case, with there not really being anything else, unless the BC's like really loaded further on to kind of have to force you back in to make that deeper push, you're probably not really going to make a case for that. But we've seen crazier things happen, so.
Part of me loves a decent STT push early. You have a fire, your movement sucks, but it is an objective. You're very close to a bunch of checks right after the completion of Axel 1. You have Reflect too. That really helps out for any of like the quote unquote combat that you have to do. The only real slow fight that you experience there is Twilight Thorn.
And we see now Wallpe. Oh, we've got double XP boost now. The 2 become 1 Keyblade that Wallpe picked up in BC has the other XP boost, so we have double XP.
What first visit objectives do we have between Axel 1, TT1, 2 in Halloween Town, Bailey, Shan Yu, Roxas Luxord? That's 8 out of 15. That's kind of crazy. And if you count, and TT2, TT3 are basically two sides of the same coin. It's we have no ice creams though. That's kind of funny.
Yeah, unlike the last seed between D-Stu and Raiden, where everything was just falling into their laps pretty quickly, this is a little bit different here of a start.
Part of the racers are in agreement that they're just doing the shotguns in the order that they can get to them. Wallpe is just shy of the floor for Halloween Town, so I suspect with what? Agrabah and what other world has he not gone to? Or is it just Agrabah? If we exclude STT from this.
Yeah, just Agrabah is the only one that is left on the board that hasn't been touched.
Okay.
And on Kallat's side, finding Royal Summon, so we do have access to some more shotgun potential.
Oh my god. This is just an earlier league all over again. Oh, I missed that there was a glide in Halloween Town 1. That's kind of For me, that actually motivates STT a bit more. Like, just slightly better movement can make STT worthwhile.
Yep. We'll see if Walpe decides to start pushing the objectives here in Halloween Town with the stat line. Now sitting at 17-17.
So he's slightly above the floor, so his obtaining of levels makes sense. But I think that he's probably going to wait until he's in the 20s. I know Walpe pretty well. He doesn't wait for the cap, but he knows the power of compounding damage with each additional stat boost. So I think he's going to wait until he's in the 20s to actually push those objectives.
Yeah, and given that we found the form here in Agrabah as well, that does make it a little bit nicer. It's free MP replenish, which gives you another dance call as long as Jack's alive. And of course, being able to utilize Reflect and the Thunder and Wisdom Form is also pretty sweet.
I suspect that both of them are actually going to prioritize doing DC because those shadows are really easy to kill. With you have Wisdom Form and Fire, so you're going to be able to get those drive levels really quick too. So I suspect that they're going to first level that before any consideration of Halloween Town.
Yeah, given again, kind of going back to the last race that we just had with the Limit Form level 2 having a Beast Claw that was needed to get to the Thresholder objective. Because otherwise you had to actually go fairly deep for the other Beast Claw. But yeah, forms definitely could play a factor. We got ourselves our first torn page. Never hurts to see those early-ish. It sucks if you start to kind of get a whole lot of them super fast, just because there's no objectives in 100 Acres, so it's you're at least motivated to go see what the next 3 are in Piglet's house, but outside of that, not really motivated to do much more. Kallat now moving on to BC for their shotguns. Probably going to use the Wisdom Form here to level it up a little bit.
Oh, right. Kallat hadn't done BC. Okay, so that's probably where he's going to level with, for sure.
Yeah, may as well get some extra XP along the way while leveling this up. Nothing on the first 2 to level 3 there, but it is at least progress in case Forms does end up getting hinted with anything.
So with DC and BC shotguns being completed by Walpe and wait, what?
Did Walpe
Does
find
Walpe
something?
fight Dark? What is going on here? Or is he trying to get stats? Oh, he's leveling Wisdom in the world that never was.
Okay.
Okay.
I like this play because
stats.
of the extra value of the shadows here. So, and you got that Reflect to take advantage of that.
Yeah, very well done.
Yeah, it's your highest. Outside of obviously the strafers and SP, this is your highest possible values for enemies that you can go after. Aside from the toy soldiers and Halloween Town,
he's going straight for Prison Keeper. He's not even doing the DC shotgun. I'm a little surprised. I mean, I kind of called it. Like I said, that he would wait till 20 or 19, maybe with some. No, the Keyblade adjustments don't get him to 20. But he's above the floor now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you've got that Wisdom Form in hand to get yourself multiple dance calls on top of that, so you can get really aggressive here.
I wouldn't say you can get super aggressive, but that Wisdom Form is just kind of it's a free magic replenish. It's great for this stage of the game where I don't recall that either player has collected a money pouch. So having 2 Wisdom Forms here is a great way to preserve your items for more challenging fights than this. Yeah, you can see Walpe trying to take advantage of the higher strength stat, which does matter here because of the floor being 16. And strength is technically doing more damage than the magic here.
Also, Kallat's pushing through Thresholder currently.
I don't hate it. if your stats are not great enough for Prison Keeper, you're less likely to die here. There's still also a lot of checks to be found behind Thresholder. I'd be... Ooh, that's a really unfortunate death. Kallat
yeah. Being careful not to mash to accidentally get the mouse there. And Wallpe going straight in for limit form here. This is very nice here. You're getting some extra form leveling while doing some solid damage.
You can revert and dance call, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. So should be able to be safely through this here. Dance call is such a powerful limit as far as like world party members go. Nicely done. Which, by the way, yeah, speaking of drives, it's got a membership card.
That's really unfortunate because depending on how deep that is, we're in some deep trouble on that Bailey objective. Because in theory, it's free. In practice, if those membership cards are in terrible locations, you can't take advantage of that free objective.
Well, now your other concern is what happens if HB is super loaded with unlock?
If that's the case, I suspect that the 2 memberships cards are not going to be super deep. It's not impossible, but we also just have so little information right now. They have enough content where they don't have to go down any dark rabbit holes yet.
Oh yeah. And then to go with our first sequence of hints, Agrabah is officially done. So we have no reason to go back in there. Oh, Wallpe's a little bit of danger here, but should be okay. And then our other hint, scouring the board, PR only has Master Form.
So Kallat is already kind of doing an early gamble here. There are a decent number of checks here, so it's a solid play, but it isn't required. Kallat does have objectives that he can push. Oh, the Moon Amulet's kind of nice. That could also get him above the floor for Prison Keeper without having to make a pit stop in the world that never was.
And imagine for Kallat here, it's just kind of giving yourself, after the threshold, or getting yourself for sure to that first hint threshold. Oh my gosh.
God. That's a nice glide diff.
And a finishing close to go with that.
Yeah, so I suspect that the way Wallpe is played, we're playing chase the objectives here. So like it wouldn't shock me with Glide 2 after finishing DC. What's really available to him? He does have Beast Castle himself available.
You got DC, you got OC if you wanted to try to go down that rabbit hole, since once you get through that little
His first hint is doing him no favors either. Like it's truly given him nothing. Like you go tracker, give us nothing. Like this is useless information at this point for Wallpe.
Yeah, like you're hoping to get just a little bit of a nudge of like, hey, yeah, no, we got something of use here to kind of incentivize me a little bit more to kind of go down some of these worlds that I already have, and then you get hit, and you just get flat out hit in the face.
I really want Wallpe to push STT, but him buying ethers makes me think this isn't. Oh, Flare Force was in the shop for cheap. Okay.
I thought I saw Duck Flare.
Yes,
but I wasn't 100% certain.
I mean, Wallpe only had 2 choices, but it just makes sense. Like he sees objective, he pushes.
Well, and an odd case could be made depending on how things stack up. You can technically do Data Roxas if you really wanted to set that up.
That feels wasteful. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like
I agree, but it is an option, but not a super great option.
I mean, I don't know where the Weight of the Dawns are, so what do I know? Like,
Oh, and Kallat seeing the Duck Flare as well, so he'll have that at least for Prison Keeper.
Yeah, I think the Duck Flare actually would have been better if Walpe had checked the shop prior to Prison Keeper, because then he can actually use the strength stat, which he had more of at the time.
I don't know if Volpe had the money at the time.
Well, he did. He almost certainly could have gotten it for 100 money, but like me, Walpe does not check the shop until until later. He probably checked substantially sooner than I ever would.
And then there's me. I check the shop frame 1 and make a game plan if there's anything there.
There's a reason I'm on this side of the league where I get to watch and pretend that I know what I'm doing instead of the people who actually know what they're doing in the top 16, you know?
Alright, so yeah, making our way through STT. Walpe definitely is going to get their next hint here, but by the time that they get done to that Axel objective, so this also gives him a chance to just kind of be like, okay, I'm working towards this objective, regardless for STT. If there are any unlocks here, I know that it goes, at least I will see these things. You know, and obviously STT is currently unhinted, but it is just, it's a nice little reprieve to kind of just nonchalantly go through this. And then once your next set of hints come in, you're like, okay, I've got a game plan now. Hopefully, you know, barring the hints actually being nice, because we only get 2 more worlds revealed on our next hint threshold.
I'll push back on it being nonchalant. Twilight Thorn is going to be a little bit slow.
Oh.
Like, he doesn't have limit form. He's going to have to, like, do this in a very brute force way.
Yes.
But he's going to be able to get the next hint. I would have a really hard time imagining that the next hint would be as useless as the first 3. Like, I can't even think of what 2 worlds would be hinted that would be truly useless.
Oh?
Like LOD and... I don't even know what the other world could be. LOD and 100 Acre? I guess, like, maybe...
like this from Walpe right now.
Oh, you think he's going to try and auto-limit this?
That's what he's doing.
I did not know this was possible, not gonna lie. It just takes so long to get down below the threshold, but...
He only needs 1 more hit, and he's there.
I think this might be the first time I've ever seen an auto-limit in STT. I am very proud. This is
I like this play. I like this right here. I like a lot, because your defense is so low and your HP is still so low that you can quickly get down to there. You know, it still takes a little bit of time, because it is STT after all, so the damage isn't like super overwhelming, but you can get there within a quick enough manner to speed this up. He might not have limit. He might have enough limit form here coming out to speed this up just enough. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolute magnificent stuff right there.
Wow. I don't think I would have ever thought, even if I had auto limit and I knew that I had, I don't think I would have pieced it together to use it here. That's insanely impressive. Admittedly, I'm not really sure how many in these league seeds in particular where I've been in the situation where I uniquely had auto limit but not limit form, had the STT objective, and the STT unlock was early. Like, it's
Oh, we're getting word from Geek that in Dewey's top 16 against D-Stu, Dewey also did auto limit in STT.
Yeah, I believe that people have done it. I just had never seen it till now.
And 100 Acre is a barren wasteland. Nothing to offer there. And then DC has your Weight of the Dawn, a Proud Fang, and a Skill and Crossbone.
Yeah, now we're actually getting into territory where this matters, because multiple objectives are hinted by that. You get Roxas and Luxord off the bat from Weight of the Dawn. Proud Fang gives you a ton of checks for a shotgun, and the Skill and Crossbones not only opens up 1/2 of the GR2 objective.
Yep, and that's why we're seeing Kallat now pushing the mouse here, because at best case you get 2 of those unlocks. You know, at worst you have to go into TR.
Well, no, at worst you also get a progression point out of it.
Well, yeah, that
which
too.
is even better. The lack of additional shotguns is kind of crazy, though. Like, imagine if you don't get anything in DC, right? Like, what does a person do here? Like, you have SP if you want to risk losing your screen's access. You have whatever's left in STT. And that's all I can really... I guess you have Olympus Coliseum. That is a pretty massive world.
And we see Wallpe just, even though done with the Axel 1 objective, I think they're going to push through to at least Sunset Terrace, see what's lying in wait there, since you do get at least a handful of checks between the train station and Sunset Terrace. So
I think if I'm Wallpe, I'm pushing to Mansion, because even reaching the computer room, I think, is a progression point in and of itself, and you're getting a bunch of checks. It wouldn't be the most surprising thing in the world if he left, but left to do what, you know? Like, you could go OC, but from Wallpe's perspective, I think actually just clearing STT in unhinted world right now. Imagine if the next hint it doesn't yield STT, right? That's just a nice thing to have in your back pocket, that it's dead. Like, yes, the data can technically have something, but it cannot have an unlock form or torn page, right? It can, or no, it can have the torn. It just can't have an unlock.
Correct. It could all if there's a form though for STT, then that would also be a scary thing to have to consider.
I don't think Wallpe's going to care about that. I think Wallpe just cares, like, he wants to know that STT will not screw him from doing some sort of win condition. And that usually just, and especially on this card where there's no forms, no nothing like that, it's unlocked territory.
Alright, so Kallat did find one of our unlocks, which was the Way to the Dawn at the end of the mouse push. So Kallat's pushing on into Roxas.
Okay, so
and has double. Oh, we've got double neg. Okay.
I like this. It's fast. It's a nice cheese. 2 progression points, if I'm not mistaken, and objective and access to a ton of checks before Zigbar. We also have Duck Flare already. I don't know if we have. Did I see that we had horizontal horizontal slash? There we go. My English is loading.
I don't recall if we had seen Hori just yet. We are getting some nice progress here on this Roxas fight. Double neg.
That looks like an unlock.
That is, and it's another Beast Claw.
Data Zoldan's on the card.
Data Zoldan has made his appearance.
Stockholders are rejoicing.
Oh, we're not done.
My God. Oh, that's such an insane find.
Well then.
It makes the stats go so much faster. That's good. Like, your stats are better because of that second Keyblade. That's going to be so useful for Zigbar.
And Kallat getting nicely through here for Roxas. Yeah, and it makes your screens even more optimal with that double XP boost in hand. Especially if we can find an ice cream to at least level up Final Form just a little bit.
This is surprising to me. This is not what I was going to expect Wallpe to do, but he's going into BC. So like Kallat, he recognizes there's a lot of checks behind Thresholder. He doesn't want to be diffed by those checks. I thought that with the Final Form, he was going to push for the Way to the Dawn in DC and level up Final Form in the rooms between Roxas and Zigbar.
I can understand. Think of it this way: he is 1 prog point away from his next hint, so may as well go the easier route here with Thresholder to get to that next hint. And then
is it easier?
It'll be a little bit quicker.
It'll be faster, yeah. But the mouse push is at this juncture pretty free.
Well, yeah. But like if you're thinking like big picture, even this puts you 1 step closer to that Data Zoldan just because you have that Beast Claw already in hand.
Yeah, I mean, I think that right now Wallpe is not thinking about putting himself closer to Data Zoldan, at least not yet.
Right.
Although he does have the 2 EXP boosts, so I don't know. Maybe with 2 EXP boosts, you think that, okay, if there were a seed that could prepare me for Datas, it's one where I have decent tools and double EXP boost from the start. But I think it could be just as simple as just there's checks here. I don't want to be diffed by them. I got 2 BCs pretty early. This could be like a very early sphere.
And then on the flip side, Kallat now trading spots here, going through STT. So depending on if they push all the way through, they will find that final form as well.
Yeah. Well, I think now Kallat is in a similar position where Walpe is, except doesn't like. What alternatives does Kallat actually have? Like Walpe had BC and the mouse push to do. Kallat does not have these alternatives, right? Like he could push OC, I guess.
So the board has still continued to not be kind. Levels has been revealed. Only Magic, Summon, or Second Chance hiding somewhere on levels. And Twilight Town, same situation. There are no unlocks in Twilight Town.
That's crazy. So Twilight Town can't like compound. You know what I mean? Like there's 3 objectives there, but it can't yield another unlock to go do another objective.
Yeah, so now
we have no ice creams hinted 7 hints in. There's 3 of them. Like not a single one is available.
Well, now if you're at least Walping it now, you're kind of hoping that those ice creams are going to be kind of in the same world, so you're not having to go, all over the place trying to hunt those down. If you're going to, in fact, go after TT1, 2, and 3.
If I'm Walpe, I'm not even sure if I'm worried about ice creams right now. I think that he's going to recognize that after Beast, the only thing that he can do that directly TT has 4 objectives. Oh, Data Axle. Right. Data Axle. I forgot Data Axle is located in TT. Holy shit, I didn't even realize it was a quadruple TT.
Yeah, so majorly stacked. Especially since at least the betwixt and between immediately sets you up for Data Axle.
Listen, I was looking at Walpe's objectives. I saw that there wasn't Data Luxord, so I just assumed Walpe wasn't any datas.
Fair enough.
Oh, Walpe's actually doing Darkthorn.
I mean, again, you've got... I don't think... Yeah, he didn't mean to go that. You've got Final Form, and your stats are juiced enough to make quick work of this with the Thunder in hand to do the quick kill here on Shadowstalker, so... And you also have Duck Flare. You could just do Twin Howl on Darkthorn. So you're going to make very quick work. And for all that it's worth, you could just go straight back into BC, check up to Rumbling Rose, get some final XP off of the Dragoons and Dusks.
Yeah, so Data Zaldin stockholders are laughing at me right now. There's a...
And if you could somehow, some way... manipulate yourself to get into XP boost range, you could XP boost the ballroom fight, and there's the membership card.
What a huge find from Walpe.
Never punished.
Well, that's just a freebie unhinted membership card.
Yep.
So, yeah, we know what we're doing now.
Yep. Because that guarantees us level 2 final with this first force fight.
I wouldn't be too quick to say never punished, because he does not have the weight of the Dawn Axis yet, and if things go really awry, he's going to be drawn away from DC without that DC2 unlock.
Although I don't know, because that skill across, well, because you still need 2, so...
Well, I'm saying that if he gets unlocks here in HB1 that give him incentive to go away from it.
So far, nothing. We do have a Blizzard ability, so... For all we know, we might see
usage of
Walpe
movement.
Do another auto form here. Defense is low enough still that you could very well see him do that.
Okay. The Walpe is slowly... He's probably going... I mean... BC2 would make sense, right? Now I think that if you've pushed this far into BC, you're going to BC2. instead of DC.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would definitely make the good case for BC2 push, just solely for the fact that it's going to be super quick up to the Rumbling Rose. It's very solid prog. Another torn page, by the way, from
Can get double EXP on it too if he can get hit by a once more attack.
He thought about it. He thought about SP, but is choosing. Yeah, he's gonna choose to try an XP boost here in the ballroom fight, which is gonna be a huge amount of XP, given that we've got double XP boost equipped. It's gonna be a little bit tricky here because he needs. Yeah, he needed one of the dusts to attack and not the Dragoon, and he got it. So, but yeah, look at that.
Done.
He jumped up almost 5 levels in that ball.
Oh my god. The ice cream on BC. What is this? What a reward for this unhinted push. Oh my god. So it sets up Data Zaldin, gives him another objective in TT1. Mm-hmm. Oh my god. That's unbelievable.
And we also find out Elodie only having an identity disc. So we don't really care too much about that other than the objective for Elodie at some point. Because we have no reason to do SP2 at this time. And that's
We're going TT1, right?
Yeah, the ice cream just on Rumbling Rose, so... You know what? I like this, because he's going to probably try and XP boost this as well.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
You may as well take advantage of the dusts here. Get into XP boost range.
Doesn't look like he's doing that right now.
Nope, it's just full
Maybe. Oh, he's probably just going for final levels, just in case. Because there's not... No, but TT1 could offer that too. Is he really doing Zaldin?
I don't know.
I hope not. Okay, he's not. Good.
He could also just be replenishing his drive.
That and getting some extra levels here and there.
Okay, so now we're going to TT shotgun and probably get final up to 4. Yeah, it's a good push because you're going to be pushing up the tower anyway, so you can use that time to get wisdom also up to level 4. Again, if you really feel like doing it at this point, you could go for the auto limit, but I mean, you're probably not in super desperation mode just yet to go after hunting it. Oh my gosh.
What?
We're zooming now.
Yeah. I'm trying to I'm trying to understand what Kallat is going for. Admittedly, Kallat does not have a the world that never was. He has the rest of I guess if between the two Beast Castle, that one world had the membership card ice cream, I would gamble all my money on OC. So I don't hate this.
Yeah, I imagine Kallat will probably set foot back into BC once they get their next threshold.
It's hard not to, right? Like it's
like it's there for the taking. You obviously don't have the Beast Claw, unfortunately, that is sitting there in STT because Kallat did dip out after the active objective.
Yeah, and we don't know when the STT hint comes in either. So, oh man.
So we might be waiting on that Beast Claw for a good moment, which I don't blame. You know, again, it's one of those not pushing like super deep to go after in an unhinted situation. If you get that hint or that unlock, then yeah, you're gonna be tempted to go right back in because it ties in together.
I mean, finishing STT is working very, very heavily in WallpeSH's favor. Because, like, WallpeSH knows now, HB2, Pride Lands, those are 2 worlds that are probably going to be ones you need to seek. Like, 2 ice creams are... Or the world that never was, right? You have 2 ice creams unhinted.
And unfortunately, Kallat getting knocked out here by Cerberus, so we summoned in the mouse. Just some traditional level 1 strats, especially for any percent, but still useful. But unfortunately, it's going to take a moment here to get soar back up on his feet.
So, at least from a hard perspective, you need one ice cream, because with 4 objectives in TT, only one of them is in TT1, so you need at least one ice cream. Given these objectives, Wallpe could go do Data Zaldin, but pushing all the way through DC2 to Marluxia, it might be feasible if you really need the unlocks in DC, but something tells me that we need these ice creams pronto.
Yes. Yeah, because otherwise we're going...
Go ahead.
I was just to say, because otherwise we're going to be going down a very dark rabbit hole.
Dude, one rabbit hole I'm scared about is we don't have any Shan Yu access. So it's a pretty simple objective, all things considered, but we have not only no between them, no hints about them either. Either the world that never was or Hollow Bastion needs to pay up. Like, something's not adding up here. There's a lot of unhinted unlocks that we really, really need.
Yeah, something has to give at some point. It looks like Wallpe's going to decide to go... It looks like Wallpe's going to go ahead and go with doing some leveling here. They do have that once more, so they can afford to get comboed there by the Strafer, and just do Final Fires or even Wisdom, whichever they decide to do. Oh, hey, look, speaking of ice creams, there's a TC2 access now, at least combined, sitting there just past training.
Okay, and Magnet Burst is good for a bunch of different fights. Okay, so this OC push is gonna... Oh, and another form. Is it Master? Oh, no, it can't be.
It's Limit
form, okay.
Alright, and Wallpe is in XP boost range, so Wallpe's levels are going to fly. You thought that they flew there in the Vulnerable flight? They are going to be flying here. And Kallat, in the meantime, coming across our first skill in Crossbones. So that TR access is looking even more important if they hope to get to GR1, I believe that is.
Okay, so we're using Final Form. Wait, he gave Donald...
Oh, yeah, Wallpe took a death, unfortunately, on screens.
Maybe or did he give Sword an elixir? Oh!
Ooh, yeah.
And look at this OC is insane. Okay, so OC was the one that needed to pay out. Oh my god.
OC now gives you guaranteed access to that skill in Crossbones needed for the PR2 objective. And now Kallat back into BC. Going to be chasing after one of those unlocks. Unfortunately, they will only see one since the ice cream is on Rumbling Rose.
I don't think he's too concerned, though. Like, now Kallat is actually the one who's cursed with too many good things to do, right? With that DC2, you have additional 2 unlocks in DC waiting for you. He's going to get that membership card. With Magnet Burst, by the way, he's going to make very quick work of that daily. These are good problems to have for Kallat.
Oh, absolutely.
Between all the objectives that he can now push, he will get the hint of where to go for that second Beast Claw should he need it.
Meanwhile, Wallpe giving Screens another go here.
Screens is, like, I think the most challenging thing that isn't like a super boss fight in these settings. You don't want to push too early that you can't really do any damage. You don't want to push too late in the sense that you're doing too much content at level 1. You're trying to find that sweet spot, but if you do it, like, even here with low defense, it is so unbelievably scary. Too much going on all at once, while also needing to be in critical health or, like, below the halfway point for the EXP boost. There's a lot going on here.
Yeah, especially when you have two different attacks from the Strafers that will kill you with the health that we have currently. So the ring attack and then the insta shot, or the shot that they do straight forward, are both like considered heavy attacks. So they will.
Duck flare. No, not duck
no
flare.
duck
Okay,
flare.
Okay, that's fine. If we're leaving early, that's fine.
Yeah, coming out at least.
I was holding my breath.
Coming out with, okay-ish stats. Your magic's at least to 31 now. Your strength is still a little bit less than desired, since we're looking at Kallat's perspective at being at 18 at level 15, and that's only a 5-point difference. It's not good. Our defense shot up like crazy during that, though.
It just means that Wallpe will not really be able to get away from probably... Well, he has Reflect, though, so he can still probably make better use... Oh, he's doing... He's going to do
going for Zoltan?
Maybe to refill Drive? No, he has Drive. Is he just setting up Data Zoldan?
I think so. This would get you your next hint on top of that while setting it up.
Okay,
For all we know, he could just take a giant gamble and just decide to full send Data Zoldan early. I don't imagine that being the case, but...
It wouldn't be the worst decision. Like, if you can clear both Zoldan and Data Zoldan... I think Zoldan is 3 progression points and Data's are 5. I might be plus minus 1 or 2 there, but, like... No lower than 7 points is going to get achieved here, so... If he were to do the Data fight.
Yep, and it would get your Data objective done while giving you crucial info to hopefully get you actually, on your way a little bit more for a game plan. Because again, it's just hunting at this point.
Oh, I'm sorry. I've been talking like Wallpe knows that he has Roxas access. Sorry, I didn't even realize I keep forgetting that he's not the one who did the T push. So yeah, in his eyes, oh man. Mm-hmm.
Alright, we're gonna get through this just fine. Wow, what better timing to find Hori and Comet than on Zoldan?
That hint is, so okay, we figured out what world was holding out on us.
Wow.
Wait, but then,
so that means...
Okay, Wallpe has to push this, yeah. You have to assume that the world that never was unlock is soon. Where did, oh, Kallat got it in OC, okay. Oh man, can you imagine if the Way to the Dawn wasn't deep push into an unhinted OC to make that happen?
Yeah, that would be something. But yeah, so now we know that World That Never Was is holding out on us. The biggest thing is we know so far from Kallat's perspective, all that there is to show up is a Blizzard post Roxas, nothing more. So we know we've got to at least get through Xigbar to try and hunt down these Sword of the Ancestors. And we know at least the Way to the Dawn will be for sure, the other Way to the Dawn will be seen for sure before the end of the first portion. That is the only unlock that we can guarantee to be seen.
Oh man, I just thought of something for Kallat here. If you have double neg, do you consider just pushing through to Marley? You have the access, you don't know where the other two... Well, you know where one ice cream is, but you don't know where the Beast Claw is. Like, do you push this under the anticipation that, okay, I have double neg, it's an objective I have access to?
I don't know.
I mean, with that hint maybe that he just got, maybe not, but I don't know.
I don't know if you quite want to kill off TR just yet for doing.
Oh well, never mind. The objectives, I mean, not objectives. The unlocks are very early.
So now the only thing I'm trying to think. The only thing we're waiting on now is the other Bone Fist to show up and our last ice cream to show up. We don't have many more places that it could possibly be at.
I think Wallpe will make very quick work of the World That Never Was and tell us, though.
Kallat also now dipping into Pride Land, so we're going to be getting our first look here and see if there's anything worthwhile as well here, because that would definitely be something in his favor, unless this Proudfang is somewhat early in World That Never Was, which, it's at least somewhere from Xigbar and beyond.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say with this magic set, he's technically over the floor, but you know, it's a very risky fight to do without second chance once more, or even a backup limit form or eternity limit. So I respect this this double neg play and getting some extra damage by stealing the keyblades.
Mm-hmm. Obviously, has to be a little bit more careful with his timing, I believe, because of the keyblades knocking Roxas slightly into the air. So don't want to go too crazy. Let Roxas reset himself. And yeah, I now see your. Oh my gosh, Kallat has
this
now
this
our
OC
last
push
ice
is working
cream.
out very well for Kallat. It's paying in dividends. Walpe does not know of 2 ice cream locations now, it seems. So between them, they have all 3 of them.
That is correct. Yeah. So
But
now all of a sudden we went from no ice creams to we've got all the info on ice creams now between both.
okay. My suspicion is that Walpe is potentially with no real. He loves the EXP boost in the world than ever was. I know that much. I don't know if he's going to spend a ton of time doing it, especially with levels being blue.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but yeah, I was right. So I know that he likes to do it. Ugh. That's a tough one.
Yeah, the sorcerers are definitely a little bit tougher customer to try and do that on.
So now is with Zigbar and Luxord on the table, his magic stat matters a little more now. So I think knowing that he's already above that, he's trying to find a way to ensure his magic is as deadly as possible. Okay, there we go.
Yeah. Sorcerer taking its sweet time, actually unleashing the blocks there, but Walpe took matters into his own hands using that magnet. Surprised Walpe doesn't have the other XP boost keyblade on.
The other EXP boost, yeah, I guess he could have put it on for this. Yeah, he probably, I think, I'm not sure if he remembers that he changed it for Zaldin. But it is a much better keyblade. Like his strength and magic was just truly atrocious with the experience boost keyblade relative to the one that he's running with now.
Yeah, our magic climbing up a bit more. Same with our strength, but or no, I think our strength.
I think if I recall correctly, we're like about halfway through between the floor and the ceiling. Actually, slightly closer to the ceiling for Zigbar and Luxord. It's a 41 ceiling, so if he can find a way to make use of any magic. Which I'm assuming on Luxord with the reflecting of the minigame, he will do that in spades.
Meanwhile, we got Kallat leveling up limit form here on screens. It almost seems like Kallat's just deciding I'm just going to level up forms here instead of going for XP overall.
Yeah, that is slightly shocking to me, but remember, he also has more to do right now that doesn't involve levels. He has all of TT1 and TT2 available to him, right?
Ooh.
That is unfortunate. Yeah, as I said, like, I think screens is truly, like, the thing to pay attention to in League. Like, this is, it's so scary. It's truly, like, one of the only places where you can get as many levels as you possibly need, and yet you are either undertooled or just a potato that can be easily damaged.
Yeah, like, you don't have a whole lot of health, and especially Kallat's 6 defense currently, you're extreme glassy.
What was the 12th world that got revealed for Walpe? Was it, I know that Halloween Town got revealed. What was the other one? Beast Castle? No, not Beast Castle.
No.
Hollow Bastion. Hollow Bastion got revealed. To be nothing. Okay. So it was really just the world that never was that had everything needed.
Yeah, so just Scimitar. So that membership card, not really going to be much of a factor. Given that Agrabah is already dead, so no real reason to go back to Hollow Bastion.
Oh, wow. Wait, we might be in some dangerous territory here. Because if this Proud thing is behind Syx, how does Walpe catch up on ice creams? Like, OC's still unhinted. Like, can Walpe at this point he'll get some progression points on Luxord. Can he do any other guaranteed objectives to ensure that he'll get the hint for where it's located? Because really the only options are what? OC, SP, and Pride Lands, right? Way to the Dawn is in Way to the Dawn, or in the World of Number One.
Yeah,
Yes, yeah. So he's guaranteed to get it. Okay.
Yeah, the Way to the Dawn is going to give you there. Yeah.
Okay.
And now Kallat dipping back in now that they've seen STT being revealed.
Getting a nice final form in the process too. Stats will be much easier to work with for Kallat.
Yeah, and he can definitely XP boost a little bit easier in Twilight Town while working through those objectives.
Okay, so Kallat looking for the ice cream, and then I think is making a massive push through all of Twilight Town.
The good news here for Walpe is, let's just say that Proud Fang is at the very end. He's gonna get the last of his hints revealed.
Yeah, I miscalculated that
everything that he needs to know.
Yeah, I miscalculated that Way to the Dawn, so he's not worried at all. I think that with Proud Fang, he'll know exactly where to go. He won't have any, with LOD and Pride Lands access, there's not a single world he doesn't have any access to. So he'll know exactly what the go mode condition is.
Yeah, especially once he sees how gigantic OC's been holding out.
Oh man, I'm wondering...
He's also going to have Magnera going through OC2, so it's going to be a very nice ride for him.
Kallat picked up the spare Bone Fist in Pride Lands.
Right.
I'm trying to think, like, Walpe, I think, has a bit more... I'm trying to think who has more variety in what objectives they skip. Like, I'm looking at it, the only, like, real objective that I think is objectively, like, probably best to skip is GR2. Because even though you have both unlocks on Kallat's side, that is 2 full worlds you have to do, and you've set up a lot of other objectives that you're way closer to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like I would be on board for that one being skipped, because neither player has touched PR yet, and half of the reason is because you haven't had the access, especially when Walpe's in. Kallat does have full access, but it's also kind of, do I really want to push all the way through this, because there's nothing tying me to really needing to push through here, since the membership card's useless. Well, Kallat doesn't know it's useless just yet, but like, we know that it's useless. And there's the Proud Fang.
There's the Proud Fang.
I mean, regardless, we're gonna find a Sword of the Ancestor. What would be wild is if Xemnas is holding both of them.
I think between them, with the exception of GR2, they truly could choose any of the remaining. Or, like, you know what I mean? Like, GR2 is truly the only one that I can see as, like, a guaranteed skip from them.
Yeah, that's just such a deep commitment, and there's our Sword of the Ancestor, so we are out of here. Barring we
Walpe knows he doesn't need the other.
Yep. What would suck is if Second Chance is sitting somewhere higher up.
I think Walpe will manage. I think
oh, absolutely, but just like...
These hints are a little out of control. I think at this point, he's just like...
Yeah.
I need to work with what I've got.
Yep. Yeah, now you see a little bit more sense of urgency. Like, there's been certain sense of urgency throughout the whole entire season, but like, you're seeing Walpe now, like, in a whole nother gear since getting that Proud Fang and Sword of the Ancestor.
I think Walpe's gonna hate this last hint with the OC. Because for him, from his perspective, OC is actually required, isn't it? Because you have the Ice Cream, which blocks 2 objectives in TT3, the Skill and Crossbones, which blocks PR2. So that's 3 right there. Does it? Oh, and then the other PR is in DC. So yeah, you technically have to go do OC, right? If required.
Yep.
That's crazy. That's in the most in the most bass-ackwards way. OC turned out to be required.
Yep.
Oh my god.
And again, it's not gonna be like the end of the world for Wallpe. He's gonna be able to blitz through OC1.
Well, I'm saying the opposite. I'm not saying that there's the end of the world. It's very crazy that they're probably going to end up doing content, but they've taken wildly different to get here. Like, I don't think anyone made, like, a deep push that the other didn't. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And that's the beauty of Rando. It really is. Like, all through League, we've seen so many folks that have taken different paths, and in the end, both players end up doing the same content and kind of meeting back up. Yeah, now everything is revealed to Wallpe. Is most likely going to be going into OC now. Yep. Oh. Interesting. I would imagine...
Figure out the objectives you're going to have to do anyways. I wonder if Wallpe is trying to buy himself some time to figure out that OC is required. Because if I'm looking at this information, like, it took me a second, even as a viewer who has nothing else to do than to try to figure it out. And you have to do this objective anyways. Like, it's a moment's reprieve to just, like, collect yourself, figure out if it's required or not. I think Wallpe's now calculated that it is, and is going to go do it. Dude, the magic canceling is beautiful.
Yeah. Oh, hey, nice Trinity Limit sitting there deep in Sunset Terrace. Yeah, if it's one thing I wish I could get a little bit better at, it's definitely the magic canceling during the movement. Just because it is a little bit faster than sitting there doing aerial dodges, landing, and going back into an aerial dodge. It's, you know, the magic canceling for the movement is definitely one of those awesome tech that you want to be able to pick up, just because it makes your movement just that much faster. Seeing Wallpe here just absolutely blitz between using the Magnera and Wisdom Form and just the Form Poppage, because your stats are so good now that even going into a form, enemies fear you and just evaporate. Kallat getting through fight just before Mansion. And now Wallpe is on through OC Cerberus. And now we got Kallat just kind of full on a tear to get through here.
I think for both players, there's no more confusion, right? They're very aware of what's left, what to do, and what order to do them. Now it's just a race of execution, right?
Yep.
Like, we're skipping GR2. We're probably skipping Marluxia. And then what? Either Vexen or Data Zaldin. Maybe Shan Yu if you don't want to do the entirety of that world. Like, you could technically do just HT2 into Vexen. I don't know. I feel like LOD is probably easier and simpler.
Yeah, I could see that. With where you're at in your kit, you could definitely try to speed that up. Oh. Okay, I think Walpe's locking in what he's doing. Because he left before grabbing, because we didn't need, yeah, no, we didn't need anything from DC, so, yeah, Walpe's moving on now to Halloween Town, is pushing on through to Vexen, so it looks like it's going to be making the push for Vexen, probably the Betwixt Between fight, and most likely Data Zalden.
Oh, one thing I didn't even consider. Oh my god, I don't know how this slipped my mind. They have TT3 access. Like, I know that sounds obvious, but they also have double EXP boost. So they can set themselves up for success with Data Zalden. Apologies if that's what you just said, but it just clicked for me all of a sudden.
It is going to take a moment to get there. Like, Kallat's magic stat now up to 53, so we're almost to the floor for Data's.
If we break the floor for Data's, and you can just clear out the... he's in final. Yeah, that's true, but you can be in final for Data Zalden.
Yeah,
oh my god, but you had he had an 8 magic Keyblade for final for him.
Yeah, I think that would be kind of the biggest thing is, yes, you'd only have the final for a little bit, but if you can chunk out as much damage as you can on Data Zalden with that final form tech, you can get yourself set up to get through that fight a little bit faster than just trying to do most things in base form. I guess you've got Hori and Duck Flare, but the final form even remotely gets to the floor and goes a little above the floor, then we're talking much better damage.
I think that on Walpe's side, we've already committed to what we're like. At least if his tracker is any indication, we've committed to actually not. Even though we've pushed right up to it, he's decided not to go do Data Zalden. He's looking at Shan Yu, TT3, and then obviously he's pushing Vexen right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely the safer approach, right? Because you don't want to be like, even though you do reach Data Zalden faster, you don't want to take any deaths because then there's the regret factor. Even one death would probably mean LOD is faster.
Well, and the biggest thing for Data Zalden is I don't know really how much you'd be even remotely safe there, because you basically would have to be super careful probably from any of his attacks really without that second chance, because I don't know if you'd really be able to tank anything for even once more.
Well, the idea would be that you'd have to play it perfectly, right? I'm saying that he's taking the more safe approach. He's taking it. I like to call this a rando and shots, if you will. It's you're more likely to get through just Shan Yu with no problems than Data Zalden.
Oh, absolutely. And Data Zalden also is another one of those fights. As we see Walpe quickly burning through Vexen
right
here.
Yep. With Aerial Spiral, this is beautiful execution here.
Yep, absolutely textbook. But yeah, Data Zalden is just one of those fights where it's very easy for something to go wrong. You can make the same case for Data Axle. The Data Axle, you've got a little bit more control over the situation.
I think for Data Axle, especially because he's more quote-unquote loopable with their current tools, I think they're finding that to be a safer fight. They do have Berserk and Horizontal. They have horizontal abilities and Keyblades, but your strength stat is so low. that
I
it's not going to
completely
matter.
forgot. You know what Walpe's probably going to just go ahead and do? He's
What?
probably just going to go ahead and double neg Axel.
He could.
Which would be, again, a much safer bet than trying to sit there and do anything of the sort there with Data Zoltan.
Well, yeah. The issue was not between Data Zoltan and Data Axel. The issue was between Data Zoltan and Shan Yu, right? If you're pushing for Betwixt, I can't imagine that you're skipping Data Axel, right?
Right.
One way or another, he's going to perform some sort of loop. Almost certainly. You don't have the stats to do anything super fancy on Data Axel.
Nope. And unfortunately, Kallat taking a DM here from Luxord.
Luxor doesn't play by the rules.
Nope. He has his own rules, and even he doesn't play by those rules. And remember, kids, do you know the rules? Because I don't.
We never do. We just pretend that we do in the commentary booth, you know? But that's why we're here. Well, you're still in it. I'm not in there. I pretend that I know the rules. All right, Kallat making it through, and I believe that is how many total objectives now for Kallat? 8?
That is 8.
Oh,
Walpe getting sniped by an assassin.
I felt that one in my shoulder. You know, I felt that assassin just puncture through my delt. You know, I didn't think that was gonna reach. I thought he was safe. Oh. Did Walpe EXP boost the first fight, too, with the final form? That's really unfortunate, because you lose that. Oh, man. Wait, what?
That's
what even happened there? There was just an explosion, and somehow Walpe was the one who came out dead.
I'm honestly not even sure what caused the assassin there to detonate.
Oh, is that what the... Oh, that was an assassin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I don't know. That was weird, because I don't think the assassin should have detonated there, because he was still in the magnet, and they're not gonna just unprovokingly detonate.
Well, if they're running in, are they affected by the magnets as they run in? I actually don't remember off my head.
I don't believe they are, but
okay, but...
I
Oh, Walpe doesn't have the limit form from OC. He left as soon as he got the... Okay, at least there's only one left. Nice. Okay, there we go. Does either player have a... We have guard break, right? I think I saw Walpe break.
Yes, we've got guard break at the very least.
Something tells me that Walpe is potentially going to go for... Oh no, he's doing what you said. Negative combos. I thought he might do Blizzard guard break.
Yeah, I think the negative combo just makes it to where it's less of a concern overall. You're just sitting there, jump hitting the entire way. Once you clear the floor, of course, because you can't start that looping until you clear the lava floor.
Exactly. No potential shenanigans with the RC. Makes sense to me. So I think Kallat has not gone for the Sword of the Ancestors, so I think they're both gonna end up doing the exact same content, with the only change being whether they choose to do Shan Yu or Data Zoltan. Honestly, if I'm Kallat, I'm kind of considering Marley. Like, if we're...
Yeah.
It's tough. It's tough. LOD1 versus TR is... TR doesn't take that long, I suppose. Like, it's tough.
It wouldn't take that long. You've got... I mean, the windows are going to go by extremely fast with the final form Magnera. You know, obviously, the boat thing is whatever. Yeah. And then
Marley's the bottleneck, right? You're going into that fight. Although he does have decent stats. What's the floor for Marley again?
I remember somebody mentioned it the other
60?
day.
Oh, no, but that's data. What about AS?
No,
AS 49.
I think it's
49. There we go.
Yeah, it's in the it's
He's
super
below
up
the
there.
floor, so you'd have to just go double neg, probably, right?
Absolutely. If you want to have an easier time and not spend too much time on it, then yeah.
This blue Sora made me think he was in Wisdom form already.
No. Yeah. Now Kallat making quick work here as well.
He had an extra final level than Wallpe going into it, and you can see why those final levels are so critical, because he basically got 100 with just final form.
Yep. Yeah, Wallpe over 3/4 now done here with Data Axle. Not really going to say too much just because they're always something crazy that can happen. And Wallpe's through Data Axle, so one more objective to go, and now it's just a matter of, are we actually going to go back in for Data Zoltan? Because I mean, we did set it up for that, so yep. Yeah, in Wallpe's mind, it's exactly that. I've already I've already put in the work to set this up to go do, so we're just gonna go do it.
Oh my god, this is so scary. See, I don't. No matter how much experience I get, I'm just. This is such a commitment. Like, I think that even. How many deaths? Oh my god. I just said the word death and it just happened. Oh my god.
And what's crazy is Wallpe was just on his way nonchalantly to go to the room, and just the Dragoon had other plans.
Like, if you incur a death early on in the fight, it's not the end of the world, but if you incur a death, like, halfway through, it's...
This is definitely a high leverage situation, and we see Wallpe's going to be going for the Duck Flare Berserk Hori. I don't know... Yeah, and then it's just going to go ahead and go into final. Try and rack up as many jumps, because, yeah, even though we're below the floor, we could still do some serious damage, and then hopefully get Zoltan to do some jumps after the fact. Oh, reverting and just going right back in. Well, yeah, we got enough drive.
Tons of items, so I don't... Oh, this is unfortunate, though. We gotta make sure that we can still get some... Okay, nice.
Okay.
Okay, we're good.
We're good. Just gotta keep the duck alive. Donald, stay away.
Nicely done. The scariest part of this fight is jumping on top of him and he pulls out the shield, because that's... You're done. There's not much... You have to get lucky to not get any additional damage there without second chance. Oh my god. This is so beautiful.
Wallpe is just...
He cannot drop it.
Wallpe's going to be letting it go here. Yeah. Oh, getting jumps again. Let's go.
Wow. What a fortunate... I mean, that's very well done, too, but what a amazing RNG here.
And the duck stayed alive.
The duck staying alive is honestly the most helpful RNG here. Yeah,
because Wallpe might be able to kill from here.
He might. You're right. But with all the berserks, he might just be able to... Oh my god, what a beautiful...
He's gonna get him! Oh my gosh!
A Wallpe potion, Donald? I didn't see that. Okay. I was so focused on Zoldan. That was a beautiful day to Zoldan.
Yeah, that was amazing. So Wallpe on his way now to final fights. Kallat currently working his way through the end of TR and is going to be going on to Marley, because you're this far in to committing to TR that you're pretty much going to go ahead and go do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, amazing stuff there from Wallpe. Like, the first time Donald actually stayed away just long enough to not get caught up.
I didn't even see when he managed to have the time to pop a potion. Did he do it like as Zoldan was winding up with his blades on the ground?
I'm not certain. It was just all so close.
There was so much going on at once that I was just... I was just watching that HP bar with faded brow.
Same. I was just like, okay, we're doing this, and it's always nice too, like that, to not even get DM'd on that either. It's so big because Data Zoltan's another one of those that once he starts DMing, it's kind of a bit of a wild ride at that point. All right, Kallat working here on Marley.
You heard me say that with optimal play, Data Zoltan is faster, and now you know what that looks like. Holy cow.
Yeah.
Like, I'm still in just shock and awe. I know that requires talent and a lot to go right. And that was, like, I think the perfect example of it.
Yep.
Nice catch of Marley.
We're still waiting for the duck to wake up, and even
waiting for both of them to wake up. We need final here.
Yeah. Oh, didn't quite get him caught up. Goofy waking up and...
Oh, I forgot there's no second chance. Oh, ow. That hurts.
Yeah.
Okay, Wallpe using Final Form to finish up this last phase here. Should still have enough in the tank to do Armored 1 with fires.
And he can always fall back into Duck Flare as well, but he's probably just going to full send this. Almost done.
Beautifully
with the Duck
executed.
Flare.
I would say, unfortunately, he's out of drive gauge, but he doesn't have limit form, so why does he care?
Yeah, and he's not going to be able to survive long enough to do auto limits, so...
Don't challenge him. He'll find a way.
I think Wallpe definitely will probably attest to that 15 defense, saying, I will not survive.
He has one smart.
That's
all he needs.
Yeah, Wallpe now getting through the first phase on getting himself in ready for the second phase here very soon. Out here working on Marley, decent chunk through here. Probably, yeah, as I say, probably going to eat a DM here after the teleport there. Has to be extra careful not to get caught by a beam here. Nicely done. And we got enough form. Oh! We were a little slow getting into final. We didn't get Marley popped up, so back into another DM. But the good news is we do have final form at the ready. And should be able to close things out from here with Final Fire as much as he can, and then into a Duck Flare. Yep, there we go. Very nicely done. And at the same time, Wallpe finishing up Armor 2 and moving on to Finals M.
Here we go. Don't challenge him.
Yeah, so much damage done just straight into lasers.
Yeah, the ceiling is 47, so he's basically doing as much damage as he possibly can here.
Yep.
And I think we're going straight into a final attack. Boom, session. Yeah, this is over.
And done.
Clean.
Yep, so GG's to Mr. Wallpe here, coming in at a 115.24. There's still a minute of loadless diff here between him and Kallat, but still, unfortunately, a little too much content for Kallat to have to do in that time. So Wallpe will be moving on to our winner semis. We do have some more race action coming up here in just under 30 minutes, actually, or about 30 minutes, not quite under, but between Ninten and Dark in the losers round 2 bracket portion. But yeah, with that win, Walpe moves on to face Mega Slim in the winner semis. Kallat still has a chance here and will be going up against Flo. They're in the losers bracket round 2. So plenty of action still to come between today, and we also have some more action for tomorrow. I do know we have Dragon Blast and Ragnar set to square off, I believe, at 3 o'clock Pacific time.
I would not know. But, I didn't do my homework.
But outside of that, I don't believe we have anything else scheduled. But these are the immediate matches. But anyway, that is going to do it for us. Appreciate you all for tuning in. We are going to have a change of commentary team. I've been IBA.
And I've been Roro. Thank you so much for letting me commentate. This has been such a treat. I feel back in the league again, and I hope that I get some more opportunities to be involved before it's over.